What's up, everyone? Beast Mode back here with another video. Sorry for the delay in posting videos. We've been busy setting up War League. Edison War League is now live. Free agency is up and running. The free agency period will run until February 25th. So if you want to play, you got to get your team signed up by February 25th. The announcement is in the Discord server, which is posted in the description. Should be a good season. I would guess anywhere from 20 plus teams will end up signing up. The first week of War League will be March 3rd. So stay tuned for more announcements and posts regarding that. But if you want to play, get into the server, get your team ready. It can be up to 8 players. You need 5 every week to start, and during the regular season, 6 during playoffs. So keep that in mind when you're signing up and making a team. With that being said, we have a deck here that ended up topping, I believe it was a Texas tournament. I could be wrong. It was created by a player named Max. I'm sure many of you have already seen the deck. It's been profiled. But the reason why I want to talk about it a little bit is because I did make my tier list for the new season, the new year, like last month. And I said that I feel Dragons are in a position where they can take that next step and probably be that tier A, 1.5 deck. I don't think they're good enough to push tier S, but and next thing you know, this deck went 7-0, 8-0 in the tournament, and I don't believe they won, but they went like 7-0 in Swiss, and I've seen a few other Dragon decks pop up. The big thing I had about the big complaint I had about Dragon decks was the fact that they ran DD Warrior Lady for some odd reason as like removal, and it kind of interfered with the Totem Dragon because some of these decks were playing too. There's a few cool things with this deck, and there's a few things that are not very good. Some of the cool things would be this new Blizzard Dragon, which is a nice piece of tech to destroy the Spirit Reaper. It's pretty much what it's in there for. I'm sure it also is pretty good against, large opposing monsters, but you can target the Reaper because that's a problem with this deck. It can't get over Spirit Reaper. That's one pretty interesting piece here. The Solidarity seems like it's probably cool in theory, and when it works, it's great, but I think this card is probably not good. The big issue with this deck is, let's count how many outs we have to do block. We have double Torrential here. This might, that's not I must not have copied the right list. I think it's 41 cards. I might be missing one more trap, but either way, there was no out to do block other than Torrential from what I saw. They don't play Brain Control. Now, I made the deck off of a YouTube video, so I could have copied it wrong, but I'm pretty certain there was no way of outing a actual dupe block other than Torrential, and I think that is crazy. You can't go into a tournament. Well, this person did, but I wouldn't go into a tournament and not have a way of at least dealing with a dupe block. There's no way to like synchro a Brio here. There's no Brain Control to even take one. If your opponent like figured this out, and now that this deck is running around, if you just make dupe block, they can't out it, aside from a Torrential. So I think that is obviously a deck building error. It worked out for this person. They might not have played Frogs, but even the sideboard doesn't even do a good job of addressing it. You have one smash, and you have maybe Chain Disappearance and Massive Restrict, but if they do block you like turn 1 or something, you can't do anything about it. So that would be one big flaw with this deck, but I do like the way it's going. I like the direction it's going. We're cutting DD Warrior Lady, which makes sense to me. You don't want any more normal summons that could possibly interfere with Totem Dragons. This deck just plays 1. These probably can come out. I don't think this card is very good. I would definitely put Brain Control in. I understand that you don't have any tuners, but you play 4 tribute summons, and that can just easily help you tribute out a Prime Material or Red Eyes. And Brain Control is just busted. I don't know. It's like one of the best cards of the format, so I would definitely be playing it. Again, I'm not the world's greatest deck builder here. I don't know. 777 Tools is pretty cool. There's a lot of value right now in Blackwing everywhere. So you just play like a beatdown version of the deck is what my guess is. Just kind of summon a Drago and just protect it. So I understand the logic behind a lot of this, but I think this card can probably go. I'd get a Brain Control in there, and I would definitely find a way to out the dupe block better. I don't know if you need a main deck of Smashing Ground or maybe some Compulse. That could even work. But that's the biggest flaw with the deck. I do like this Blizzard Dragon. I think that's interesting. Sideboard here, I'm not good enough or haven't played the deck enough to know what needs to change. This does make a little bit more sense if you're playing Road and a Bribe. That way that you can negate any real Heavy Storm or MST, and then you have 7 tools for Regeki Break. So against frogs, if you're able to establish a Master Restrict, they're pretty screwed, not doing very well. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. I like the fact that dragons are doing well. It's not my favorite deck, but I could just see the writing on the wall with this card here. It's just so strong in this format with the ability to shut down dark monsters and specifically. But obviously, this card hits the field against Iceborne, it's just over. But I do think that dragons are going to continue to become more popular, and they're going to be more refined. It's just going to take better and better deck builders and more playing, and people are really going to start tweaking these builds a little bit more. And I think that we are going to see probably 6 months. I wouldn't say right off the bat, but over the next couple months, we will be having more dragon decks. Popping up in top cuts, maybe even winning tournaments. But shout out to Max here. I'm not trying to rip apart the deck or anything. I think there's some cool stuff with it. But I also think that there is a problem if you can't out a dupe block. But he went 7-0. Can't complain. Some days, you just have good bracket luck. I've taught many tournaments just dodging frogs, and that can happen. But they're so popular nowadays, I would not bet my tournament run on playing no frogs, because now maybe there's another way you can actually out it, and I'm just not seeing it, but it's possible. Again, I'm not overly experienced with the deck. I just know that this card is really good. So mainly wanted to make a video. I haven't made one in a while. I wanted to talk about the Dragon deck a little bit, and I wanted to give people the update that War League is here. Get your team signed up. Get your logo ready. Sign up. There's Google Docs in the server. You can sign up. All the stuff you need is on the Discord server. We have almost 1,000 players on that server now. So it's going to get wild over the next few weeks. And I look forward to seeing everybody. I'll see y'all in the next one.